Hey, what's up, everybody? Brian here, and I've got a great recipe for you today. Caribbean jerk kebabs. This is one of my favorites. It has a lot of versatility with it. You can either use chicken or pork with it. I'm going to be making it on the grill, so I'm going to be putting it on skewers today, but you don't have to. You can go ahead and actually throw this in a frying pan and stir fry this if you want to save a little bit of time and energy. It's a great recipe. You can either serve it on the skewers or you could serve it over a bed of white rice or even a little bit of couscous. A lot of fantastic options with this, but a lot of really good flavor. So let's go ahead and get into the ingredients in this. All right, so I'm going to get into the ingredients behind this and the assembly of the skewers. So I've got some red onions here. I've got them cut pretty large pieces, about 1 inch pieces here. Got some peppers about the same size cut. Also got some diced pineapple. So what I like to use is just pineapple chunks from a can. If you don't want to use it from a can or you want them to be bigger than this, you can go ahead and actually get a pineapple and just cut them to whatever size you want. I've seen a lot of stores also have like pineapple rings, so you can go and cut those into whatever size you want. So I also have here chicken that is cut up into bite-sized pieces as well. You want a pretty decent size, so a pretty big size. And these have actually been marinating for several hours in this sauce. What we have here is Lawry's Caribbean jerk sauce. This is the secret. This is it right here. So I'm actually going to use 2 bottles for this. Basically, I'm putting about a bottle into the marinade right here with the chicken that has been sitting here. Like I said, the longer it goes, the better. You really want to do it for at least 6 hours. Overnight's better. That way it really just absorbs all that sauce, but at least 6 hours. This has been going since 7 this morning, and it's now 5, so that's almost 12 hours, which is fine. Right here, I have some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. You can do this also with chicken breast. I've also done this several times with pork, and it comes out really good as well. And then notice I have everything separate. What I'm going to do is just go ahead, grab some skewers, and just start a little assembly line. I like to start with something really solid on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and just do some peppers, do a pineapple, do an onion, and I've got a nice little assembly line here, and then some chicken. Now, my hands are touching raw chicken, so I'm not going to go ahead. I'm going to go and just touch all the rest of this and grab all the food, but I'm not going to use this again. You don't want to like cross-contaminate and use, once you touch raw chicken, you don't want to touch anything again. So whatever I don't use here, I'm going to discard. Okay, so that's really important for food safety reasons, right? So put a chicken on here. Now, one of the things I did mention before, let's see, I've got red pepper, green pepper. Let's throw an orange one in here. I like to mix up the colors in this, so that way it has a nice visual effect. Now, one thing I mentioned is if you don't want to take the time to do the skewers, and this is really time intensive, you marinate the chicken, you cut up the vegetables, and if you wanted to stir fry it, you stir fry it, and then it's done. That's it. But to me, actually going through and grilling it and putting it on skewers, you get that nice smokiness from the charcoal, and it really does add another element of flavor to the skewers. So if you're running short on time, there's nothing wrong with going ahead and stir frying it. But to me, you really, if you're going to do this and do this right, take that time and put it on the skewers and grill it to get those nice grill marks, get that nice char flavor in there, because it really does add to it. The Lawry's Caribbean jerk sauce, it's a sweet and tangy. It's not spicy. It has a really nice sweet Caribbean flavor to it, almost like pineapple-ish. So you have the nice flavors of that with the pineapple, with the little bit of the tang of the peppers, the chicken, and then you add on top of that the grill marks and that smoke flavor, and it is just lights out fantastic. All the flavors just come together nicely. So we'll make another skewer here. And again, for me, I like to make sure I have an even amount of everything. So having this little assembly line does help. So that way I can keep track of pepper, pineapple, onion, and chicken and just do it all together. Now, these pineapples, they're a little on the smaller side. So I may want to go and double those up a little bit. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with going ahead and actually taking a pineapple. Your local grocery store will probably have these already cut into rings if you wanted to. I've seen that where they have fresh pineapple already cut into rings. So you can cut them to whatever size you want. But at the same time, serving this to your guests, just like this, I mean, this just looks great, doesn't it? And then it has that nice smoke flavor from the grill. But like I said, also, you can go ahead and serve this however you want. You can serve this to your guests on the skewers, just like this. Or if you want to have it, inside, put it on a plate with some couscous, which I love to do because my kids love couscous. I think they just like saying the name couscous. It just sounds like couscous, couscous. So it's just kind of silly sounding, but they like that. Or jasmine rice or white rice or steamed rice, whatever you want. And it just has this really nice visual effect to it when you take this nice grilled chicken, grilled pineapple, and just serve it over white rice. It has this really nice effect to it. So those are 2 skewers done. I've got a little bit more to go. I'm probably going to make like 7 or 8 of them. So let's go ahead and go through the rest of these, and then we'll go to the grill. Alright, so I'm done assembling the skewers. I've got a couple of peppers and with pineapple left over, a little bit of onions, but you know what, I was touching those with raw chicken, so we're not even going to mess with those. We're just going to go ahead and discard those. And then here's my skewers. So the last thing we're going to do with this before we put it on the grill is we're going to go ahead and just put a little bit left over of the sauce on there. Alright, so the chicken has the sauce, but the peppers, the pineapples, they don't yet, right? So we're going to incorporate all this flavor together. So we're just going to go ahead and put a little bit of this sauce on there, right? And you can do this with the basting brush too, that's fine. Now, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and let this sit for about 15-20 minutes. Let the flavors of the sauce kind of incorporate into the different vegetables and fruits, the pineapples, the peppers, etc. During this time, I'm going to go ahead and preheat the grill. But if you're going ahead and doing this and you're stir frying it, this is a great time to just go mix all of these ingredients together without the skewers. Put it in a bowl, just toss it all around so everything has the sauce incorporated in it. But you do want to leave it a little bit. You want all of these vegetables to really soak up that sauce, all right? And you want to do it for about 15 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. So during this time, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and preheat the grill now. But if you're going to stir fry this, this is actually right now a great time to go ahead and start with that rice, which you're going to do anyway, whether you're going to do this with the skewers or not. Go ahead, start getting the rice going, get the water going or your rice cooker going. Get that warmed up and everything while the sauce is sitting in. You do want it to let it sit for about 15 minutes if you can. Half hour is fine too. Just to let all the flavors kind of absorb in, and then you'll be good to go. All right, so I will see you again in about 15 minutes or so. All right, so we're out here on the grill. I've got the chicken. We put that sauce on it, the Caribbean jerk from Lawry's, that's gone there, and it's just kind of sitting on the pineapples and the vegetables. So while that's going on, if you want to, you can go ahead and get your rice cooker going. And in the meantime, we're also going to go ahead and preheat the grill. Now, I know there's a bunch of people that have talked to me. They're not sure how to go ahead and use a charcoal grill or, you know, what a charcoal chimney is. So I'm going to go ahead and actually show up like the basics on how to set up a grill. If you know how to do it, you can fast forward this video. But if not, I'm going to go through the easy, surefire way to get your grill going red hot so we can put those skewers on. And it's just going to require a couple of things. Some paper, a lighter, and this thing. This is a charcoal chimney. This is going to set your fire first time every time. You don't want to use lighter fluid. You don't want to use anything else. Lighter fluid is just going to make your food taste like lighter fluid. Nobody wants that. You know, I mean, that's not a good flavor profile, really. So this is what you want. It'll give you a nice, good charcoal, good smoke flavor without the lighter fluid, without anything else. So all you're going to do with this is you're going to take that paper, and I mean, this could be newspaper, like an advertiser ad that you get, coupons, whatever, and just stuff it on the bottom. So what a charcoal chimney is it is basically a 2-layer device where there's a screen on the bottom, like a mesh. All right, you see that? So what you're going to do is you're going to put the paper on the bottom. Now there's a whole bunch of little holes here that's going to allow the air to get through, which is what you want, right? Fire needs air. So you see the paper on the bottom, and it has that mesh there. And then what we're going to do is put the charcoal on top of it. Now it really doesn't matter what type of grill you use. You can buy like a $40 grill to a $500 grill to, I mean, make your own grill. It doesn't matter. As long as there's air going through and you have a good fuel source, fire will happen. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to fill this chimney up to the top. All right. We're going to fill that up to the top, and this will be plenty of coal to go ahead and get this started. All right. And then all you do is you just take your lighter, go ahead and just light on the bottom. Just light that paper up. There's enough air going through where it's just going to go ahead. And there you go. Look at it. It's starting to smoke already. That paper is going to catch, and that fire from the paper is going to go ahead and light those coals on fire, okay? From this point, as soon as you light that paper on fire, the coals will be ready to go in about 20 minutes or so, depending on the size of the chimney. But a standard one takes about 20 minutes. A smaller one might take 15, okay? Now, I'll show you later, you want there to be just a light layer of ash on the top, and that's when you know it's good to go, okay? But that's how you light a chimney. So you go ahead and start it, okay? So we'll come back in about 20 minutes, and I'll show you what it's like when it's really lit. One more thing, you're going to see a lot of smoke. There's a lot of smoke when it first starts. Probably for the first 5 to 7 minutes or so, you're going to get a whole ton of smoke. You're going to smell that smoke coming through. It's going to smell like something's on fire. This is okay. This is what you want, okay? So we're going to let this go. Come back to it in about 15, 20 minutes or so, and I'll show you what it's like when it's ready to put the coals onto the grill. All right, so about 20 minutes has gone by, and so if you look at the top of the charcoal, you can start to see that it's starting to get real ashy. That's what we want. That's how I know that this is fired up. This is really well lit. You can see that orange glow from the fire, but when that top starting to get ashy right there, that's when it's really starting to heat up as much as it can. So I'm going to go ahead and start pouring this down. Now I'm going to go ahead and lay the charcoal down. We're going to spread it out. Now, if you notice, I'm holding this with these gloves. So the charcoal chimneys have like a protective cover on it, but I still have these gloves here. These gloves are all over the place. But what they are is they're basically fireproof gloves where you can just hold up to like 500 degrees. They're heat resistant. They're not exactly fire resistant, but they withstand a lot of heat and temperature where I can just go ahead and move these coals around. So this, I highly recommend that if you're thinking about grilling, getting these just to protect your hands. Like I said, the chimneys, they have like a protective coating on the handle, but at the same time, you're not sure. Maybe embers jump up like you see here. So I really recommend doing that. Getting these gloves, these are, like I said, I can pick up 400 degree hot grates, and it feels like I'm barely touching anything. So this is one grill accessory that I highly recommend. They're in all different colors and shapes and sizes and different manufacturers. I definitely recommend this no matter what you do. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to grill these kebabs on direct heat. So direct heat means that we're cooking it on the coals, okay? Indirect heat is for low and slow, like a barbecue, and that's where we're cooking it more on this side of the grill where there is no coals, okay? So if you look at it, there's no coals here. So if I wanted to do like a low and slow, let the smoke kind of cook it, that would be over here. But the chicken and the vegetables, we're going to cook that on direct heat, which is right here. And again, if you look at me, I'm putting my hand on this hot grill. It's not doing anything. I can feel the heat, but it's not burning me because of these gloves. So just wanted to show you that. This is a really great accessory. If you think that there's some things that are like unnecessary, these gloves are definitely not one of them. I highly recommend them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these coals actually preheat the grates. And that's really, oh, that's really hot. I can't even hold my hand on it. That's how good those gloves were. We're going to go ahead and let these grates preheat for about 5 minutes. And then we're going to go ahead and put the skewers on. All right, guys? All right, so the grill's been preheated after we put the coals on. And you can go ahead and see that there. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the brush. We want it nice and clean here. So we're going to go ahead and scrub that off. And then after that, we're just going to go ahead and throw the skewers on. So the grill's at 350. The thermometer on my grill tells me that. So we are good to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that on. Oh, listen to that sizzle. Doesn't this just look nice? It just looks good, doesn't it? That's the beauty of these. First of all, I mean, they're different colors and everything, but you just listen to that sizzle, man. This is the good stuff right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to close the lid and we're going to let this cook. Direct heat, we want to see those char marks. That's going to really give us that nice, good, extra boost of flavor to this. And like I said, if you're doing this in the frying pan, there's nothing wrong with this, sauteing this and stir frying it. But the char marks really give it that extra oomph of flavor. So we're going to go ahead, put this on. About 5 minutes or so, we'll go ahead, take a look at it, flip it, and see what it looks like. Alright, so it's been about like 7 or 8 minutes now. I want to go ahead and like start turning these over, and you can start to see these nice grill marks. This is that flavor that you want. Look at that. You want that nice grilled flavor. Now, you also don't want to overcook it, right? So chicken is tender, pork is tender. So we're not going to go crazy as far as overcooking this. We don't have to be too paranoid about that. All right. So we're going to go ahead, just flip these over. And then, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Look at that nice grill flavor. We're going to go ahead, close the lid, put this on again. All right, we'll see you in a few minutes, but look at that. So again, this is about, yeah, it's still about 300, 350. So we're good right now, and we'll let this go for about another 7-8 minutes. The coals are starting to kind of die down a little bit, so might be slightly a little bit longer, but not too much, all right? All right, it's been about 5 more minutes. We're going to go ahead and look at this. And here we go. Yeah, oh, look at that. We've got some nice, good grill marks there. Oh, there's Justin. Say hi, Justin.
Hi.
Get out of my way.
Everybody who's watching this, he wants to be on YouTube. It's like, I love it.
Thank you.
So fun.
Yes, he's going to be on some videos cooking soon.
Yep.
All right, so this is it. Look at these nice, good char marks. So you don't get this when you do it, when you stir fry it. If you want to stir fry it, again, just to ease and simplicity in making it, it totally is fine. But you have the sweet and the tangy of the skewers, of the marinade, and then you add this like nice smokiness to it. it really just does add that complexity to it. So stir frying is fine, but this is the way to really go above and beyond and just go over the top. This is it. So we're gonna go ahead, pull these off. So you want the chicken to be about 160, 170, but honestly, once you start seeing the char marks and everything, that's when you can go ahead and pull it, and then we're gonna go ahead and plate. All right, so I brought the skewers in. Everything is done. This is just a quick little forkful, a little bit of everything. This is fantastic. Chicken, pineapple, onions, peppers, and like I said, you can just eat it right off the skewer. Serve it over couscous or rice. I'm serving it over couscous tonight. Immediately, you taste the pineapple, and then everything else just comes together. A little bit of the pepper, and then the chicken, but then also the marinade kind of kicks in. You get that sweet and tangy, and then with the chicken, you get that little bit of the char, so it gives that smokiness to it. This is fantastic. Even if you make this in a stir fry, the flavors are just fantastic. So just the sweet, the tangy, the peppers, the onions, the pineapple, the chicken, all of it comes together just wonderfully. This is a great recipe. I encourage you to do this on the grill just because the smokiness just makes it perfect. But if you don't, even on the stir fry with the rice or the couscous, it still lights out. It's one of the great recipes you're going to try. So I hope you guys like this. I hope you guys try this, and I will see you again next time.